All right, back here for the fourth and final hour, Thursday edition of Bernie and Sid in the morning here on 77 WABC. Later on this hour, the very funny Bob Saget, who, of course, was great on Full House. But I got to tell you, he's a brilliant stand-up comic. And for the nice dad he played on Full House, he is a filthy degenerate on stage.
He really is one of the most vulgar, profanity-laden comics out there. But it makes us laugh.
He's very, very good.
What do you want from us?
He's got some new show coming out on ABC, so Bob will join us in about 35 minutes. We've got greatness already. Forget about Bob Saget. Ronnie Marmo was here a couple of months ago. He played Lenny Bruce on an off-Broadway show. It was at the Cutting Room. It did very, very well. David Jurist, our good friend, who's actually a distant cousin of the real Lenny Bruce, and knew Lenny very well, they were related, said it was uncanny. He said he was watching on stage, and Ronnie may have been his cousin. That comes from a guy who was related to Lenny Bruce. That's how brilliant he was. And the good news is they're coming back now, a second run, a nicer venue than the last one, with the help of Joe Mantegna, I think. Here he is, the great Ronnie Marmo.
Hey,
Ronnie.
Hey, fellas.
Welcome.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good. Joe is still directing the play, for sure.
He's directing the play.
Yeah, what do you want him to be in? It's a one-man show, Sid.
Tell him to write you a check for $50,000.
Well, listen, actors act, producers produce, and directors direct.
So where is us? So tell everybody you were at the Cutting Room last time.
Yeah.
Where's the new venue?
We're moving to a place called The Box.
Nice.
It's on Christie Street. It's fantastic. This place, it's a theater of variety. It's incredible. It's wait till you see this place. And Lenny would have hung here. It's got an incredible reputation.
Didn't you buy drugs down there? The ones at Christie Street, right? Was that you?
That's where we used to go. Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that. I was home that night sleeping.
We're not implicating you, Ronnie.
No, please, I wasn't there.
No, but so Lenny Bruce, this new venue, and it's fraught with some controversy. I mean, you speak as Lenny Bruce used to speak.
Yes,
which is not cool these days.
Since I've seen you guys, we did 62 performances at the Cutting Room, which was a huge blessing. But Lenny Bruce is sadly, he's still timely, man. First Amendment, free speech. We're still dealing with these same issues, right? More than ever. In fact, I follow you. Sid's my pal, and I follow him all over the place. Sounds like you got a problem every 12 minutes. You know what I mean?
I
may disassociate myself. I'm starting to consider
he
that.
thrives on.
He loves it.
Like Lenny Bruce, I don't care. I mean, I don't think I ever say anything that would cost me my job. I don't think. But I know there's a lot of people that feel the way I do, and Bernie does, think the way we do, want to say it, and I have designated myself as that guy. And if it's fraught with peril, like Bernie likes to say, then it is what it is. Because guys like Lenny Bruce, that's all he did.
Listen, he was a truth seeker, and he held a mirror up to society. And if you're not if there's no conflict in the conversation, nobody's interested anyway.
Right.
So I think you're smart, Sid, because who wants? If everything's pleasant, who cares? I'm gonna go do
exactly right.
There's a reason they have the news.
Boring.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So hey, Bernie, you're a guy when it comes to stand-up comics. He's done some stand-up comedy. It's very funny. So you know the history of these guys. Your opinion, Lenny Bruce, top what?
Oh, definitely top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Not top 5?
Top 2. Are you guys nuts?
No, he likes Rodney. He likes Rodney Dangerfield.
But Rodney could do what he does because of Lenny.
He was social commentary. He was a satirist. There's a difference between those guys and the flat-out comics. And so he's up there with the George Carlins of the world. I would say top 3.
Yeah, Carlin and Pryor. They actually had a big they had a poll, and Lenny I think was top, and then it was Carlin, then Pryor in terms of that. But listen, Rodney Dangerfield. I love those guys, but they do what they do because of Lenny. And Lenny used to be a joke teller, and then one day he started making the band
Jackie
laugh.
Martling came into the business. He's like, I'm out of here. I can't beat him.
Well, Carlin, it's amazing because who knows what Carlin's career would have turned out like if Lenny had lived, because Carlin basically picked up the torch and kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I wonder what Carlin would have done had Lenny stayed.
By the way, I was a personal friend of George Carlin.
Really?
I knew him. I worked with him one time, a couple of times actually, and he was a frequent guest on the I Miss the Morning program.
Bernie's like, I was a personal friend. My cousin once knew a guy who knew
No.
You know what?
He actually sent Imus a letter one time where he talked very highly of me and Bernard.
Really?
Yes, he did.
That's
he did.
I saw George a few times live. What a crazy.
So how do you then take a guy like Lenny Bruce, who was a pioneer, no question, and you're right, a lot of the guys that enjoyed success after him enjoyed it because of him, but how do you get a new generation of folks, these moronic kids today, these millennials, these assholes, how do you get them interested in a guy like Lenny Bruce?
Can you say asshole?
No, you can't. Don't say it again.
Oh, geez.
Just once. How do you get them interested in Lenny Bruce,
well,
honestly?
You know what the truth is? It's like, a lot of people don't know who he was, especially if you're under the age of 50. But so what you do is we have to bring him to the show. They have to see who this man was. And they just, the bottom line is First Amendment free speech. We're still dealing with this. I mean, in fact, I think this play would do really well if I toured the colleges, the campuses, because there's so much drama going on right now and what you can say and what you can't say on these college campuses. So as far as I'm concerned, these kids need to be schooled about Lenny Bruce and what this country was like just 50 years ago.
Absolutely, man. Just free speech. Everybody has a point of view. Diversity of opinion is important in this country, and they're trying to stifle it.
Some of our great comics, Jerry Seinfeld, right? He got booed off stage in a college, and now he's not going to do it anymore.
Right.
And he's not the only one I've heard say that. And it's scary because
Chris Rock won't do it. Kevin Hart won't go to college.
Steve Harvey, I heard an interview with him, and he said, I like my 2 houses and my cars. I'm going to just keep doing Family Feud. I'm not going to do any stand-up anymore.
Right.
This is what I heard.
What were some of these specific controversies surrounding Lenny Bruce? Well, there had to be something, Bernie or Ronnie, that he said that comes to mind. Well, you play him. What comes to mind right away that people really took exception?
Well, I could speak to that. The first thing was it wasn't his curse words, because he used to get arrested for saying it's a 11-letter word.
I got you. Right. He would actually get arrested for that. He would get arrested.
Yeah, but that really wasn't what it was. People thought it was his cursing. What happened was he did a bit called Religions Incorporated, and he offended some Catholic cops in Chicago because he had the Pope Jewish. They had this Billy Graham. They had this little office on Madison Avenue. It was called Religions Incorporated. That pissed them off. And then what took it to another level is he did this thing about the Kennedy assassination. He came on stage and he showed Time magazine and that famous picture of Jackie Kennedy leaning forward to get out of the car.
Yep.
And he was like, so was she hauling ass to save her ass, or was she was she trying to get help? That was the debate. And Lenny goes, no, man, she was trying to save herself, right? He said, I don't want my daughters thinking it's not okay to run if you're scared. But now Time magazine saying it's not. Well, anyway, they got offended. How can you talk about Jackie Kennedy like this?
Right.
And that was like, they were like, that's it. We're gonna lock this guy for whatever we could get our hands on.
And that was the difference again between him and the name of the show is I'm Not a Comedian. I'm Lenny Bruce. He was doing commentaries, social commentary,
like freaking Jack Kerouac,
but in a funny way, of course.
Yeah, he was the first guy. Like originally, he was doing jokes. He was a great impressionist, actually, Lenny, early in his career. But then suddenly, he was like, one day he started making the band laugh, talking about his wife, and they're like, "What? You got to talk about your wife on stage?" Everybody does that now, but he was the guy. Yeah. And so they're like, what do you mean you're going to talk about your personal life? And all of a sudden, it was like crazy. Yeah. Then he made the band laugh. Then he finally turned around to the audience and just started riffing, and that was the end of it.
So Ronnie Marmo at the Box on Christie Street. I'm Lenny Bruce. I'm not a comedian. And by the way, that head of hair of yours, I hate your guts.
I know, it's so nice.
Listen, I come in here. You know how good I feel about myself hanging out with you two guys?
And listen, to your credit, we've become very good friends, so it's going to sound like
we're decent friends. Careful.
Maybe you're right. Well, you like me more than I like you. But on a serious note.
Last time I was here, I felt him looking at me. He was very uncomfortable. I'm going to say something. But
no, you're a handsome kid.
No, I understand I'm handsome. Of course,
I like you. I do.
I know, but Bernie, I don't want you to feel upset. We have our own thing, Bernie. That's quiet, like the last 6 relationships I've had.
You can have it. It's all yours.
Actually, the last 6 relationships I've had, they didn't even know they were in them.
Oh, God.
That's a problem.
Yeah. But on a serious note, you dove into this. I remember when Heath Ledger, when he played the Joker, he died not long after that because he dove into that role. The guy never slept. The guy, he lived, eat, and breathed the Joker. And that's why he won the Academy Award. He was brilliant. You have really almost transformed yourself into Lenny Bruce. I know you don't sleep and you travel back and forth, so you're great on stage, but it's clearly taken its toll. So what are you going to do?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. What am I going to do? I'm going to come live at your house. That's what I'm going to do. No,
you dove in, right? I mean, you become him.
It's true. 2 years ago, I had all my own opinions, and now that I've mixed my heart with Lenny's heart, I'm not really clear what I think anymore. Do you know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
No, but it's true.
Yes.
My heart doesn't know I'm acting, right? So I keep putting that. I've done this monologue 172 times between L.A. and New York. So I don't know what's true anymore.
Were you completely different than Lenny when you started this, to where you've actually changed a bunch of your philosophies?
We had a lot in common, which is what attracted me. But absolutely, I'd say that 50% is different now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's because you start to do this over and over, and I don't believe in acting, but so if you're going to tell the truth, eventually it slips under your ribs and touches your heart. You know what I mean?
But you are clearly, you're not doing drugs because you're sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
I mean, are you
Thank
smoking
you.
cigarettes?
I'm drinking a lot of coffee. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I drink a lot of coffee, and I'm a slight workaholic.
That's
I mean,
it. He's a family guy. He's got dogs. And he's surrounded.
I got a dog.
He got a dog. Every time I call him, he's at some pet place with his dog. But you're surrounded. Listen, every great performer will tell you this. As good as a performer is, they need to be surrounded by great people, like Bernie and I. We were surrounded by great people. Chill's great. Matt's great. Brent Rapp, for example, is really the better half of you two. Without her, you got nothing.
Yeah, she's a monster, man.
Yeah,
that
she
woman,
works her ass off.
I always thought I was the hardest working person.
Well, you are very hardworking.
Thank
seriously.
you, but she is like, we are neck and neck. I mean, that woman
Yeah.
just doesn't stop, which is a big blessing.
And she helps promote the show, and she helped put
She's
this new one
huge.
together.
I mean, her backbone to this show is absolutely necessary. Between her and her hard work, and Joe Mantegna and his great direction, and of course everybody loves and knows Joe. That does lit the project,
Right.
So Joe, we used to say he brings them to the show, and then I keep them there. You know?
Nice.
But that's kind of how we did
that.
it. But Joe's a sweetheart, and he's one of. He called in last time we were here, right?
He
Joe
called him.
yes, he did.
He's been on one since.
We had him one since, yes.
Oh,
was
he
on
told me, actually.
the last episode this year of Criminal Minds.
He's one of the best guys on
He's
the
a great
planet.
guy.
I mean, that guy, I mean, this guy.
So for folks who want to come see you again, it starts tomorrow night
Tomorrow night.
at the Box on Christie Street. Ronnie, how do folks find out? Where do they get tickets from?
You
Stuff
get
like that.
LennyBruceOnStage.com. LennyBruceOnStage.com. And it's Thursday through Saturday. We're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m. and Saturday at 3 p.m. if you're a matinee person. This place is crazy. And I added an element to the show. So if you think you've seen the show, you have not seen the show. I've added a woman named Pearls Daly to the show. I'm not going to say too much, but I'm going to show you a picture. It's going to make you throw up right now.
Oh my God!
Yeah. just so you know, you probably will never get a chance to talk to her, Sid. I'm just saying.
It's not happening.
I don't want
There's
to.
no chance. But
Look at that.
I've added a special feature to the show. Pearls Daily brings the house down. I'm going to leave it at that. But if you've seen it, you haven't yet.
LennyBruceOnStage.com. By the way, Ronnie Marmo is a Brooklyn kid. What part of Brooklyn?
Originally Prospect Park.
Okay, there you go.
Now all the yuppies live there.
He's another one like who's that rapper that was in a couple of weeks ago? He moved out to Los Angeles.
Oh, what's his name?
Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow.
yeah, he's another one that loves New York so much that they moved to L.A.
Listen, I'm going to start a rap group called myself Italian Ice.
That's great. Beautiful.
That'd be good, right? Italian Ice. I'm very funny. Sid, you don't realize how funny I
Ronnie
am.
Marmo
No, I do.
at the box on Christie Street. Lenny Bruce, I'm not a comedian. LennyBruceOnStage.com for tickets. Ronnie, thank you and good luck
Bernie.
to you.
Thanks.
And I promise you, Bernie and I will be at this.
If you don't come, that's it. We're breaking up.
We're coming together.
Yeah. What? Let's go to commercial.
Bernie and Sid in the morning. Brooklyn's own new podcasts are up now. Russ Salzberg's Get a Load of This. Sitting on the stoop, shooting the breeze. Download